Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, we give all honor, glory, and praise to the Most High God, but now Yahweh. We do so in the name of His only begotten Son, Mashiach Yahushua. Hope everybody has had a blessed day. Go. This shit is getting on my nerves. Let me close this. Try to close these tabs out because I just can't understand for the life of me. This stuff is weird, man. Everybody go share the video, share the page, like the video, subscribe to the page, hit the notification bell. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. We got some, I'm gonna pretty much continue on what I was going into during the week. And then we also gonna explore some other things. As you guys can see, the title is just dealing with how the Most High has turned his back on us, right? And us is the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, God's chosen people. But there's a reason behind that, and we're gonna go into that today. So everybody, like I said, like the page, or like the video, share the page, share the video. Let's get into some scripture. All right, as our beloved Levitical brother, let's get into some scripture. Some scripture.
Get the biblical text.
Get the people out of scriptures. What? Bring that precept out. They don't say precept, it's precept. The Bible. The Bible. The scriptures of the Bible. All right, get Deuteronomy 4:35. If we got any precepts, of course. Bring them out. Yahweh Hashem Yashar Barakatah out the water to my brother. Zephaniah, man. Keep the $5 drive alive. Okay? Keep the $5 drive alive.
Are you going to bring precept out?
I said, if you have any precepts, bring them out. But get Deuteronomy 4:35.
They say, okay, now, yes. Do you believe in the Bible? Okay. You said Deuteronomy
4:35. Come.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 35. It says, unto thee it was showed that thou mightest know that Yahweh, he is God. There is none else besides him.
It says, unto us it was showed that. All of the different mercies of the Most High God, all the different miracles of the Most High God, rooting us up out of the lowest position in Egypt, out of this bottomless position that we were in captivity, right? Showing forth the strength of his hand through Moses, leading us out of that position into the wilderness, a barren land, right? Unfruitful, providing for us, giving us food, giving us drink, giving us clothing, all of those things. The Lord had made it known to us, right, who he is and his power. And it says that we might know that he is the Most High God, that he is Yahweh, right? He made his name known unto us. And also to recognize that whatever perception, whatever idea, whatever thoughts that we had towards him in relation to other gods, they weren't on his level. There was no gods beside him. There was no God that, could compete. And we understood that. And again, for this, it was supposed to, catapult. It was supposed to be the catalyst to us humbling down, worship, serving, and loving the Most High with all of our heart and souls. But we understand that, like I said, as a title of the video, the Most High turned his back on us, and we're going to, Lord willing, we are able to fully articulate just why the Lord did these things, man. We're going to definitely go into pointing out the things that we've done against the Most High God, and how if these things have been done to anybody of the nation of Israel, they will more than likely feel the same way. So now that we recognize how the Lord feels about it, right, and knowing that if this was done to you, you'd feel this way, find yourself asking the question, what would you want somebody to do for you to change your mind and your perception about their actions and about their character that was, showcased because of their foul or their actions against you, right? Keep reading, bro.
Verse 36, it says, out of heaven he made thee to hear his voice.
It says, out of heaven he made us to hear his voice when we appear before the Lord in the mountain. One thing that the Lord told us not to ever forget, right? That's something that we was always supposed to remember. Not only did he allow us to hear his voice, but guess what? He says you need to turn around and you need to fear him as well, which that first generation, those people that actually appeared before the Lord in the mount, they were fearful. So what is it about these generations succeeding that first generation? What is it about us that we just don't have a fear for the Most High no more? I was asking a sister this yesterday, right, when we were at camp. I said, she was going over a few things about, how she's found herself humbling herself down to her husband. And I said, well, why? And she was like, yeah, it's pretty miserable, right? And I was like, I feel you. She's like, what did she say? She said it was miserable. And then she also said that pretty much she was just, had to kind of just bear it was painful. That's what she said. She was like, it's miserable and it's painful. And I said, well, why do you still do it? Right? It's so miserable. It's so painful. And I asked her, I said, why do you still do it? She says, because I fear God. And that's it. That's all. There's times where you might have to go through agonizing situations and you endure those things and you continue to serve and worship and follow the Most High God because you're supposed to fear God. Why are we supposed to fear God? Because we see what happens to us when he turns his back on us. Things aren't always supposed to be pleasant. The Lord didn't promise us to have, everlasting, perpetual, just glee every day. He promised us that we was going to be happy. We were going to be joyful. We were going to rejoice. Absolutely. But there's times where we was going to have to step up and face very, very ugly things. Putting our faith, our trust, and our hope and our obedience into him so that he can get us through those things and bring us back to that place of happiness, back to that place of joy. Okay? It's always a sequence of things that we have to do to achieve, the goal or the outcome, which everybody nowadays, especially in this current generation, is seeking that happiness. People keep saying, I just find myself unfulfilled. I just find myself with no joy and not happy because your mindset is set on the wrong things. You're chasing after the things that will never satisfy you. And that's why this generation becomes insatiable, right? Unable to be satisfied. Bring your precept out.
This is what, of course, this chapter is dealing with. Right here, I'll start at 21 and I'm going to jump. This is Psalm 78 and 21. It says, therefore Yahweh heard this and was wroth. So a fire was kindled against Jacob, and anger also came up against Israel, because they believed not in God.
It says he was wroth with Israel, and his anger was kindled against Israel because they believed what?
Not in God.
Because they did not believe in God. Go ahead.
And trusted not in his salvation.
And they didn't trust in the salvation that he was going to bring us. We tend to trust in the salvation that we think we're going to bring to ourselves. And when you weigh it out, right, we're like the LeBron James of the world, you know what I'm saying, in terms of nations. Yeah, we get to the championship 10 times, but we only win 4 because those 4 times we trusted in the Most High. Those other 6, we keep coming up short. So as lopsided as the odds are, when are we going to realize and when are we going to figure it out? When are we going to trust the stats, right? Trust in the Most High, and that's where the salvation is going to come. Trust in the Most High, and that's where the anger will diminish. Go ahead.
I'm going to jump to verse 30. It says, they were not estranged from their lust.
They were not estranged from their lust. Meaning what? To separate, to go astray from their lusts. Right? All of those things that we lusted after, all those things that we desired, all of those things that we fixated our minds on, we couldn't shake that. That was the interference. That was the blocker of our faith and our obedience and trust in the Most High. And we couldn't shake it. Read.
This is, but while their meat was yet in their mouths, the wrath of God came upon them.
What verse did you jump to?
I jumped to verse 30.
Okay.
So this is,
No, I got you. I'm right here. I clicked on the wrong tab. Read it again.
It says, but while their meat was yet in their mouths, the wrath of God came upon them and slew the fattest of them and smote down the chosen men of Israel. It
says, as we were filling ourselves, right? Because it says when the meat was in their mouths, it's almost as if to say, when you're consuming things and when you are thinking that you're on your way to that satisfaction, right? Usually when you eat, you get full, you satisfy, you usually are done. As we were on our way to being full, what happened? It says the wrath of the Lord came up and he slew the fattest of us. We thought that we had everything lined up. We thought that we had everything in the bag, figured out, put together. All we had to do is go execute. Yeah, that was with the ways of the Most High God. When we left him and went estranged from those, following after our lusts, we thought that we had it figured out. But guess what? The Lord says he came and he smote down the chosen men of Israel. That's when you go into the book of Isaiah, the 29th chapter, and it says the eyes of the prophets he covered. The eyes of the seers he covered. The learned man, he took the understanding away from. We were just reading in Numbers last night how, the Lord had set up the rulers and the captains and the officers over the nation of Israel of all of the different tribes. When the Lord removes that structure and he removes the renowned and devout men, Israel's left for the pickings. Israel's left to be consumed by these other nations. And we see this happening throughout the course of history, and we also see it happening now, where there is no shepherd, where there is no leader, there is no head. And then nowadays you start seeing situations where you have different organizations rising up, and you got the head of one organization deliberately sitting against the head of another organization. For what? To gain what? What could you possibly gain for yourself and your nation, or even your organization, for you to go and sin against another brother, or to try to have envy and jealousy towards another brother? These are the things that's happening to us, and the Lord is turning his back on us. Read.
It says, for all this, they sinned still and believed not in his wondrous works.
And when the Lord smote and killed all of our chosen men of Israel, we still sinned. We still didn't receive that. It's a situation, man, that, is happening within my life and within my family right now. And the person within my family that it hit the most, that it hit most direct to, he's coming into the understanding that without the Most High, there's no way he's going to get through it. And being able to hear that from this young man, right? And to say that my walk or my devotion and my commitment to the Most High has inspired him for that, it makes me say, okay, man, I got to get on live. The Spirit is now on me. I have to now share this with the nation, because you never know. And we was literally just telling a brother this that say he's been watching this for a long time. He finally made it out to see us at camp, and he's talking about how he was drawing a separation between his former friends, right, who was a part of a lifestyle he was not trying to be a part of anymore, right? Beautiful. But he said he was causing a separation. He didn't want to kick it with him no more, which I'm all for. If you feel like there's a stumbling block with your old crew, your old neighborhood, your family, your kids, your wife, XYZ, and you need to draw a separation for the purpose of devoting yourself to the Most High, we support you. But you do it to ground yourself, but not to turn your back on them, because they need you. There's an inspiration that you bring to the table with seeing how committed you are to the Most High. And I'm telling you, I'm sharing my testimony with you to say these things are important. Everybody that tunes in, everybody that reads, everybody that studies, everybody that has that zeal to serve the Most High, recognize you could easily be the reason why somebody else within your group, within your circle, and what you're attached to be able to come into the marvelous light of the Most High as well. It's important. You have a region, you have an area, right, that you can go and fill that area with the Spirit of God. All of these things are important. Keep reading. Because we sin still. Read.
says, verse 33, it says, therefore their days did he consume in vanity.
Read 32 again for me.
Verse 32, it says, for all this they sinned still,
Mm-hmm.
and believed not for his wondrous works.
And they didn't even believe for the wondrous works of the Most High. We give testimonies all the time. We share stories with people all the time. We go into so much history. We go into the scriptures itself, just showcasing the marvelous works, the miracles of God. Still not enough for our people. A lot of times, and me and the brother Yaash and priest that's reading for me right now, we're beginning to really understand this more and more since we've gotten this classroom, right? We kind of just expected everybody, both in the truth and even out of the truth. People that have kind of watched us over the years, but never really gave an account or never really took what we did serious. We thought, oh, we got the class now. Everything is just going to be different, and it's not. We have to take this opportunity and still build it. Then they'll look at you and say, damn, I really want to know more about what you guys are doing. I'm curious as to how you guys are able to do that. Why you guys are so committed. When they start seeing the results of the work that's being put in, then they'll believe you. And that's the light, and that's the image that your family has of you when you start doing this. Oh, there's another religious dude. Oh, my niece or my granddaughter or my daughter, my sister, my homegirl. She done found another religion or found one of those religions, like people do. People done found Christianity halfway through their life, or at a point in time of their life, and start trying to tell everybody about the marvelous light of God. Nobody wanted to hear it. People found Islam, people found Hinduism, people found all of the different religions. And they go and they try to tell people. So you're no different. But in terms of your revelation. But what's different between what's been revealed to you and then what's been revealed to others? What you have is the absolute truth for the Most High God, an accurate understanding of the book that people have been abusing and butchering for years. Then you turn around and then you show your commitment and your devotion to it. Then people actually start to take you serious. And now you have overturned, or you have reinvented the image that this person had of you in their mind. When you do that, when they start going through things, when they start having questions, when they start having concerns, guess who comes to mind? You come to mind. And then you get that call. Hey, cuz. Hey, bro. Hey, friend. I was having a conversation with someone the other day, and we were talking about the Bible, and I know you know the Bible. So, what do you think about this? Or what do you think about that? Now they start wanting to give you the love because they had to see how devoted you were. Recognize you can be that inspiration. Because if we allow them to be an inspiration for us, the Lord will always have his back turned to us. Because there's a lot of people that will see the works of God and still turn their back and still not give the Most High credit for his marvelous works. Keep reading.
Verse 33, it says, therefore their days did he consume in vanity, and their years in trouble.
So that's why the scripture says the Lord, it says, for their days he consumed them in vanity. Everything that they've been doing for the last 10 years, everything that they've been doing for the last 5 years have come to nothing. Everything you've been doing for the last 5 to 10 years has been blossoming and has been growing, right? Because you were one of those seeds planted on good ground, and it took root within you. The Spirit of the Lord took root in you, and it set up shop within you, right? What is that? Where it says, Yahushua, the Spirit of Yahushua and the Most High will make their abode. They will make their home within you.
John?
Yes, one. Trying to find that. It's John 14:23.
John 14, okay. John, the book of John.
14:23.
It's not from First John?
It might be. This is one that came up, but I know this is one I was looking for. This is John 14 sounds a lot more familiar to me.
All right, Con. This is the book of John 14:23, it says, Yahushua answered and said unto him, if a man love me,
read,
he will keep my words.
You keep his words, which is what you've been doing. Like I said, the last 5-10 years, you done came into this thing. You tried to share it with your family. You tried to share it with your friends. They didn't want to believe you, and they pushed you off to the side. And what happened? You have kept the words and the commandments of the Most High and the words of his son, Yahushua. Go ahead.
It says, he will keep my words, and my Father will love him. And
when you keep the words, not only is it showing that you love Yahushua, but it's also a indicator. It's also a what's the word I'm looking? It's almost like a trigger, right? It triggers the love that the Most High is then going to have for you. He's no longer going to have his back towards you. He's going to make his face and his light to then shine upon you. And that's where your growth comes from. Read.
It says, and we will come unto him and make our abode with him.
And Yahushua and the Most High, to those that keep the words and the commandments of the Most High, Yahushua, it says, then they will make their abode with you. What is it to make an abode? Right? Let's get it. What is it to make an abode with someone? Let's share the screen real quick. Screen share. Boom. 23. Yahushua answered and said to him, if a man love me, he will keep my words, and my Father will love him, and we will come unto him and make our abode with him. The word abode, G3438, mane.
Strong's G3438, mane.
A staying, abide, dwelling, right? To make one's abode. It says of the God, the Holy Spirit, indwelling believers. A staying or a residence, right? Or abode or a mansion. That's the whole plan. You want the Most High and his love that and his mercy that he would then have for you because you followed his words, for him to make an abode with you, meaning he's not going to leave. He is making his presence a resident within you. It helps, it guides the destructive and damnable and desperate flesh that you have, right? It then influences and strengthens your fleshly, desperate mind, right? Which is dealing with your heart. When you read about the word heart in the scriptures, dealing with your mind. All of these things are important. Go back to that Psalm 78.
Psalm 78 in verse 34, it says, when he slew them, then they sought him, and they returned and inquired early after God.
Keep reading.
It says, and they remembered that God was their rock, and the high God their redeemer.
It says, but when he slew them, then they tried to seek him, and they returned and inquired early after the Most High God. And they remembered that God was their rock. He remembered that, guess what? Man, this whole time I should have been building upon this foundation, not the foundation that I created for myself that I thought was the right way. I should have been following the blueprint that was been given to our forefathers so many generations before we got here. Go ahead.
Verse 35, it says, and they remembered that God was their rock, and the high God their redeemer.
And then they remembered and trusted in that salvation, that he was the redeemer to come get them out of this place. Why do we have to remember that the Most High is our salvation and our redeemer that's going to get us out of this place? Because we have to recognize he's the one who put us in this place because of our wickedness, disobedience, and the lack of trust that we had. Go ahead.
Nevertheless, they did flatter him with their mouth, and they lied unto him with their tongues. For the heart was not right with him.
Read.
Neither were they steadfast in his covenant.
Go ahead.
But he being full of compassion.
But the Most High being full of compassion, which he can be, not that he has to be, and that's a difference. Our people feel like God has to be compassionate. No, the Lord can be compassionate. Get that in Romans 9. 14. It's either 14 or 15. I think 14 is there unrighteousness with God? God forbid. 15.
14.
14? Go ahead.
Yeah. Romans 9 and 14 says, what shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with God?
Is there unrighteousness with God? Go ahead.
God forbid.
God forbid. Why?
For he said to Moses,
what did he say to Moses?
I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy.
I'll have mercy on whom I will have, whom I want to have mercy on. I'll dispense and I'll divvy my mercy and my compassion where I want. Go ahead.
It says, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion.
He said Jesus was a democratic socialist. There was nothing democratic about Jesus. Okay, let me let you know that. There was nothing democratic about Jesus. Go ahead. Read that part again.
Verse 15 in Romans 9, it says, for he said to Moses, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion.
So again, when we read in Psalms the 78th chapter and the 38th verse, it says being full of compassion, the Lord can be, but he puts that compassion on whom he will. And the ones that he will are those that he loves and those who he makes a resident or a home within. Right? These things are important. Pay close attention. This book, these scriptures are giving you a clear-cut guide to receiving the compassion and mercy of the Most High. Until you do, he will always show you his back and he will not show you his face. He will not face you. He will not greet you, right? He'll completely ignore you. You don't want that. You want to go back to that Psalm 78?
Psalm 78 and 38, it says, but he, being full of compassion, forgave their iniquity and destroyed them not.
He forgave our iniquity and he destroyed us not. This is the salvation. This is the redemption that we are looking for in today's times. We keep seeing foreign conflict. We are even seeing domestic conflict, and we're trying to be delivered. We're sighing and crying to the Most High God. We're groaning and moaning to the Most High God because we are in anguish. At every given turn, at every given step, death is around the corner. We're hunted in our streets by our enemies and by our own people. We need redemption. We need the forgiveness of the Most High God so that he does not destroy us. Read.
It says, yeah, many a time turned he his anger away and did not stir up all his wrath. There
was many times even before where the Lord had turned his anger away and did not turn his wrath all the way up. There was some times where he dialed back, and then there was other times where he was dialed in. We want the Most High to turn the dial back. Turn the volume down on your wrath, Lord. And this is what we pray to him every day, not just in words, like it said earlier, right? We don't want to flatter him with our mouth, and we don't want to lie unto him with our tongues. We want to be straightforward, honest, and true. And sometimes that means waking up in the morning, looking yourself in the mirror and saying, I ain't worth it, and I'm a piece of damn trash, but I don't want to be. And when you are honest with yourself, at least in that manner, you now have a mindset. And then you pray unto the Most High for the Spirit to confront that piece of trash you see in the mirror, which really is your old self. You have a fight every day, man. It's like Steve Urkel fighting with Stefan. You know what I'm saying? Like every day you just got this battle back and forth of what you're gonna be. Whichever one of those sides, Urkel or Stefan, whichever one you pick that is serving the Most High, choose that side and kick that other side's ass every day. Go ahead. Okay, go back to that in Deuteronomy.
Deuteronomy 4 and 35.
Read 36.
Verse 36. Salakia. And it reads, out of heaven he made thee to hear his voice, that he might instruct thee.
Read.
And upon earth he showed thee his great fire.
And upon earth he showed you his great fire. There was so many different things the way the Lord appeared unto us and showcased his greatness and his power, yet we still just found a way to be hard-headed. Go ahead.
It says, and upon the earth he showed thee his great fire, and thou heardest his voice out of the midst of the fire.
Go ahead.
And because he loved thy fathers,
Mm-hmm.
therefore he chose their seed after them,
Mm-hmm.
and brought thee out in his sight with his mighty power out of Egypt.
We've seen that. This is why the Lord told us in Deuteronomy. I'm about to say this is what the Lord told us in Deuteronomy 4. We're in Deuteronomy 4. Earlier in the chapter, he told us, let not our eyes forget what they've seen. Not and in that context, he was talking about how the Lord destroyed those that went after idols, right? Baal, Peor. But we cannot also forget what our eyes seen, how the Lord delivered us out of Egypt. We would have never did that. We would have never seen that. That would have never happened, save for the Most High God doing it and having that compassion upon us. Funny thing is what we just read in Romans, the 9th chapter, is during this point in time here in Deuteronomy 4, where the Lord told Moses, I'll have compassion on whom I will, and whom I won't, they don't get it. Hilarious. Keep reading.
It says, verse 38, to drive out nations from before thee, greater and mightier than thou art.
Listen, then not only did he deliver us from a greater nation, mightier than us, but even before us, meaning in the direction we were going to, he drove out nations mightier and stronger than us, greater and mightier. Read.
It says, to bring thee in.
To bring us in. Go ahead.
To give thee their land.
To give us their land. Go ahead.
For an inheritance.
For an inheritance. Go ahead.
As it is this day.
As it was in that present day. And guess what? As it is going to be in this present day. A nation mightier and greater than us. Not in spirit, not in how would I say it? Because I don't want to use the word ability, because right now Esau has more abilities than us, but it's not a natural thing. He has more devices. You know what I'm saying? Esau has more devices than us now. What we lack now is the mindset to reach our potential and showcase how strong we are in the face of Esau, in the face of our oppressor. And of course, we need the Most High to back us as well. So even in this present time, the Lord is going to do this very thing. He's going to destroy these people, and he's going to then give us the land back as an inheritance that he gave unto our forefathers. Go ahead. Keep reading.
Verse 39, it says, know therefore this day.
Know therefore this day, Israel, you Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. Go ahead.
And consider it in thine heart.
Consider this in your heart, right? Let it register in your mind. Read. That Yahweh is his name. Yah meaning he, Hawa, to exist or existing one. Know that the existing one, right?
He is God in heaven above.
He is God in the heaven above. Read.
And upon the earth beneath.
And upon the earth beneath. Go ahead.
There's none else.
And there's none else. Read verse 40.
Thou shalt keep, therefore, his statutes.
And recognizing that he is the God of heaven and the God of earth, keep his commandments. Showcase that love. And allow him to, to renew that lease within you. Okay? Yes. And allow the Most High to renew that lease within you, to continue to help strengthen, guide, and assist you of getting through any and every hard time that you went through, difficult, tough time. It's the Most High God that you have to trust in. Read.
It says, and his commandments, which I command thee this day, that it may go well with thee.
That it may go well with thee. Read.
And with thy children after thee.
And with thy children after thee. Be the last to experience such hardship. Make whatever problem, whatever issue you're going through, make it the last. Because when you don't correct the problem, all it does is just trickle down to your kids and to your children's children. That's how we got it. It wasn't something that we came up with. You know what I'm saying? Shit, I just got grown. You know what I'm saying? I just got grown. And I'm dealing with BS before I had even got grown. Because there's things that's just being passed down. So guess what? If we keep the commandments of the Most High and things start to go well with us, that same thing will trickle down to our children after us. Read.
It says, and with thy children after thee, and that thou mayest prolong thy days upon the earth.
And from there, it'll prolong the days upon the earth. And the experience that I was talking about that's going through in my family right now, man, one of my little brothers was murdered the morning after last. His days wasn't able to be prolonged in this earth because of just circumstances, situations that he had to deal with and he had to go through, and it was not his fault. It's generational curses. It's stuff that was passed down to him where he felt like he had no other choice just to live a lifestyle that would garner that type of response and that type of outcome. So understanding that we don't want the curse. We want things to go well with us. Go ahead. Finish it out.
It says, which Yahweh thy God giveth thee forever.
And the Lord will then prolong our days. And it says the Lord will give us that. He will give us that forever. But again, it's definitely contingent upon our obedience. Let me get 2 Kings 17, 41. What does 9 say? You got a precept?
Yeah. So 2 Kings 17.
17:41. Then get your precept first.
It's Hosea 5. I'm going to be jumping around. Starting at verse 3, it says, I know Ephraim and Israel is not hid from me. Mm-hmm. For now, O Ephraim, thou committest whoredom, and Israel is defiled. They will not frame their doings to turn unto their God. For the spirit of whoredoms is in the midst of them, and they have not known Yahweh.
That's right.
It says, and the pride of Israel doeth testify to his face. Therefore shall Israel and Ephraim fall in their iniquity. Mm-hmm. Judah also shall fall with them. Right?
It says Judah also was going to fall with them. You know, it's like sometimes, man, you know, as connected as I am with my community, and my with the Southern Kingdom, sort of, should I say, I always have to make sure that I contact, my brothers, my brother Rob, my brother Nakwai, you know what I'm saying, so that we can always be in, communication and be reminded, man, like, hey, these is our brothers too, you know what I'm saying? But recognizing what says Judah also, you so-called Negroes, you got to recognize we are a part of this just as well as them. And a lot of times we try to juxtapose or separate ourselves. We don't got to do that. We don't have to do that at all. Recognize we all are connected, and the things that you experience, they're experiencing as well. Go ahead.
Right. I'll jump to verse 14. It says, For I will be unto Ephraim as a lion, and as a young lion to the house of Judah. Uh-huh. I will tear and go away. I will take away, and none shall rescue him. I will go and return to my place.
Hold on. Go ahead. Read it again.
Verse 15 in Hosea 5, it says, I will go and return to my place till they acknowledge their offense.
So the Lord says, I will go and return unto his place until what? Until we acknowledge our offense. That's why I say you got to wake up in the morning, look yourself in the mirror and say, man, you're a piece of trash, dude. Don't ever think that one thing that you out here doing on your own recognizance is sufficient. Remove all of that vanity, remove all of that self-centered mentality out of your mind and commit yourself to the Most High. Acknowledge your offense. The Lord will then start to slowly turn back around and face us. Other than that, we're going to keep getting these curses. Somebody just said it, man. He says, Brother Malak Yawasab said, I hate these curses. So you and everybody else that's on here, make sure you continuously committing yourself to the Most High. And keep hating those curses. Love good and continue to hate evil. Arrogance and the forward way and pride. Go ahead.
Verse 15 says, I will go and return to my place till they acknowledge their offense and seek my face. In their affliction, they will seek me early.
It says, and in their affliction, we need to seek the Most High early. And we've been definitely being afflicted. So while we keep pushing, our attempt to serve and to face and to seek after the Most High, why we keep pushing it off? Why should you be stricken anymore, Israel? Why do you continue to be punished, Israel? Acknowledge your offense and seek the Most High early before it's too late. Before you get to the point to want to try to serve the Most High God, and next thing you know, It's too late and it's over with. Hey, the ship that took off. You missed the cruise. You know what I'm saying? You missed the cruise, you missed the flight. You got something? Bring it up.
You said,
go back to 2 Kings 17. Matter of fact, I want you to start at 34.
2 Kings 17 and 34. It says, unto this day, they do after the former manners.
Unto this day. So it didn't just stop back then. Even to this day, we're doing after the former manners. We were just reading Deuteronomy, the 4th chapter. It says, let not your eyes forget what they've seen, because seen the Lord do because of Baal Peor. So when we see what the Lord did because of Baal Peor, we got to look, damn, what were people doing when they were worshiping the deity Baal Peor? When you go into it, it's dealing with short-term sexual relationships. Matter of fact, let's get into it. I've said this before, but I've never shown it. Good thing we're doing a sit down now, right? Huge. 4. Bring this up. Let me get this situated first. Boom, Baal Peor. Gotta get the word licentious. Who knows what licentious mean? And don't look it up to cheat. Don't look it up to cheat. What does licentious mean? Get promiscuous. And we gotta get one more. Okay, let's get it. Watch this. Let me show you guys something. Show you guys some good stuff right now. I'm share my screen. Boom. So we go to Deuteronomy, the 4th chapter. Let me go back. Deuteronomy 4, verse 3. It says, your eyes have seen what the Lord did because of Baal Peor, right? For all the men that follow Baal Peor, the Lord thy God hath destroyed them from among you. But of course, when we go back to 2 Kings 17:34, it says, unto this day, they do after the former manners. So in that time, they were doing after the former manners. And even to this same day, we are doing after the same thing that you see happening in Deuteronomy, the 4th chapter, right? Now watch this. Your eyes have seen because of Baal Peor. Baal Peor, meaning Lord of the Gaps, or the Gap, excuse me. It says the deity worshipped at Peor with probable licentious rites. Okay, what was the probable rights, which is not like, people, not like civil rights. Rights is dealing with rituals. Okay, they had probable licentious rituals. What does licentious mean? Go to the word licentious. It means promiscuous and unprincipled in sexual matters. You telling me that's not what our people are doing and having a problem with, being promiscuous and being unprincipled in their sexual endeavors, right? We got situations like, of course, man on man, female on female. That's an unprincipled sexual matter. And we see the Most High speak on that plenty of different times in the scriptures, speaking against it, declaring it as wickedness, declaring it as vile, and giving judgment for it. But then we also see our people just bouncing around from man to man, not recognizing that sex is marriage, not recognizing that action is a binding agreement. That's something that binds you and that woman together for the rest of your life. Do you recognize that? Do you follow that? Absolutely not, because you have no principle. There are no principles today when it comes to relationships, especially sexual relationships. Everybody's just doing everybody. Right? Now, literally and figuratively. But it says promiscuous. So what does the word promiscuous mean? Let's get it. Promiscuous, it says, having or characterized by many transient sexual relationships. Now it gets even deeper of the probable licentious rites or licentious rituals that we were following. We were promiscuous, which means a transient sexual relation. What does the word transient mean? Lasting only for a short time. Impermanent. Remember what I said. When a man and a woman lay down with each other, there is a binding agreement and it binds them together for the rest of their life. We're not doing that. We're only doing this only for a short time. And then you're on to the next, right? Constituting it promiscuous, right? Many transient sexual relationships, which constituted to be licentious, right? Promiscuous and unprincipled. And that's how we are literally to this day following after the ways that our people did, following Baal Peor, going all the way back to the book of Deuteronomy, the 4th chapter. And that's why we are unto this day doing after the former manners, right? Hey, they feared not Yahweh. This is crazy. And our people have to stop. Our people have to stop. The brother Saint J. Emmanuel just says, sex is no more private. I mean, the matters of sex are not even private. Listen, the marriage bed is now defiled because you'll promote these things that you're doing in your bed to the world. This is ridiculous. You got something? Go back to that in 2 Kings 17. Start back from the top.
2 Kings 17:34. Unto this day, they do after the former manners.
After the former manners, we just showed you that. We just showed you one example, at least, right? Going back to Baal Peor. Read.
They fear not Yahweh.
They did not fear Yahweh. Go ahead.
Neither do they after their statutes.
Neither did we follow after the oracles and principles of the Most High God. Let me show you guys something else.
And it makes it possessive because it says they're ours.
Ours.
This is ours.
This is what we are supposed to do. We don't, and a lot of times people will use as an example. Who's doing that nowadays? Who's really following after the fact that sex is marriage? It's like, what? No, you got to give me a ring. No, we got to go down to the courthouse. No, we got to go and plan this big extravaganza. Who's doing that now? And it's like, yeah, who's doing it now? Why? When did we stop? Why did we stop? What took us away from the obedience of the Most High God, from following him? Right? The book of Hebrews, 5th chapter. The writings of the works of the Zadokites. Let's go to the writings of the works of the Zadokites. Hebrews 5. Share my screen again. One of my most favorite scriptures or verses in the Bible. Hebrews 5:12. For when for the time you ought to be teachers, you have need that one teach you again. And what do you have to be taught again? Which be the first principles of the oracles of the Most High, and are become such as have need of milk and not of strong drink. Let's see what that principles and oracles, right, of God. Principles of the oracles, right? The word oracles, it says a brief utterance, a divine oracle, doubtless because oracles were generally brief. In the New Testament, the words or utterance of God, it says of the contents of the Mosaic law, right here, boom, right? The utterance and the oracles. And of course, what was the oracle that the Most High gave us? He just read it to us in the book of Deuteronomy, the 4th chapter, and the 35th verse. How he says what? I have spoken unto you. I have shown you things. It says I have spoken to you from the heavens and even showed you my fire on earth. And you heard my voice from the fire. Understand? So the principles that we're supposed to have are the contents of the Mosaic law. Beautiful point. It says temporary relationships, part-time love, and half-assed marriages lead to full-time drama. It says, "Sup, my G. Better have me a body ready. That's all use are doing great teaching me again." I don't even know what you mean, G, but con. Okay. And like the brother Malak just said, man, the law of the Most High is beautiful, is perfect, right? Go back to that in 2 Kings. Did you have anything?
Oh, Sirach 33:3, it says, "A man of understanding trusteth in the law, and the law is faithful unto him as an oracle."
The man of understanding trusts in the law, and the law is unto him as an oracle. Okay. And again, this is something that we got directly from the mouth of the Most High God. We got those 10 commandments, right, from the Most High God. Now, let me show you something, because everything, all the rest of the law that Moses got and brought down to us, dealing with the details, dealing with the judgments, right, dealing with the manner in which we go about handling the violation or even the high holy days, XYZ. He got that to expound and to give clarity to the 10, right? Let's get that in Romans 8. Excuse me, Romans 13. Romans 13 and 8.
Romans 13 and 8.
Hold on real quick. Let me share my screen for the people, right? Show you guys something. Romans 13, read 8 and 9.
It's Romans chapter 13, verse 8. "Owe no man anything but to love one another."
Owe no man anything but to love one another, right? Your only obligation. Love one another. Go ahead.
"For he that loveth another hath fulfilled the law."
When you love one another, you fulfilled the law, right? Now, people think that this love that has to be fulfilled, people feel like the love here that fulfills the law is just this feeling, right? As long as I don't get angry with you, brother, I have fulfilled the law of God. As long as I, don't get frustrated with you, I have to be patient, I have to be kind, and that's it. No, it's so much more to that. It's so much more that goes into it. Read verse 9.
Right, it says, "For this thou shalt not commit adultery."
For this, right? When you love your brother, when you love one another, you do not commit adultery against that man. Go ahead.
"Thou shalt not kill."
You will not kill that man. Go ahead.
"Thou shalt not steal."
You won't steal from him.
"Thou shalt not bear false witness."
You're not going to bear false witness against him. You're not going to go rise up against him and try to lie to get him convicted of something he did not do. Go ahead.
"Thou shalt not covet."
You're not going to covet or desire what does not belong to you and that belongs to someone else. Read.
"And if there be any other commandment."
Now, here's the thing. People try to say, oh, well, he's just talking about the 10. No, if there's any other commandment, which we recognize there are over 600 of these commandments. If there's any other commandment, go ahead.
It says, "It is briefly comprehended in this saying, namely, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself."
If there's anything else pertaining to this law, it's briefly comprehended in this saying. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself, which is, guess what? Also written in the 613. Okay, Leviticus 19, and I believe that's 18. All right, 17 or 18. But recognize these are the things that we see right here in the Bible, and it's been telling us this from the beginning. Go back to that 2 Kings, or the point you had. You already read that in Sirach 33, right? Go back to that 2 Kings.
2 Kings 17:34. "Unto this day they do after the former manner. They fear not Yahweh.
Read.
Neither do they after their statutes, or after their ordinances, or after the law and commandment which Yahweh commanded the children of Israel, whom he named the children of Jacob, whom he named Israel."
Right, so we didn't follow after those things. We didn't trust in them. Keep reading.
"With whom Yahweh had made a covenant and charged them, saying, Ye shall not fear other gods."
You don't fear other gods. You don't fear men. You're supposed to fear the Most High, him and him only. Go ahead.
So it says, "Ye shall not fear other gods, nor bow yourselves to them, nor serve them, nor sacrifice to them."
Don't serve them. Don't bow to them, nor do service unto them. And this is what we just brought out dealing with Baal Peor, that we're doing service to these other gods, not knowingly. It's definitely an ignorant thing, but it's something that we're proud of. And when or upon correction or upon your actions being confronted, you then work hard to justify that behavior. And you'll fight against the Most High to justify the practice of another deity, right? The sacrifice or the service and worship of them. Read.
But Yahweh, who brought you up out of the land of Egypt with great power and a stretched out arm, him shall ye fear, and him shall ye worship, and to him shall ye do sacrifice.
Only do service and sacrifice and worship to the God that brought you out of the land of Egypt. So listen, that's pretty clear. Unless you can bring information to the table that it was another God that brought us out of Egypt, I don't really want to hear anything from you Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians that we should follow after this God. Or excuse me, after any other God. When I say this God, it's like whatever one you're trying to bring to me, whoever this God you say is, and however powerful you say, okay, what has he done for us? What has he done for us? He's done nothing. Go ahead. Shoot, I can't even say he. Because a lot of our people do what? They worship gods and they worship goddesses. Read.
Verse 37, and the statutes and the ordinances and the law and the commandment which he wrote for you, ye shall observe to do forevermore. Ye shall not fear other gods. And the covenant that I have made with you, ye shall not forget.
And the covenant that the Most High made with us, we shall not forget. Because if we forget that covenant, then we forget the details in the covenant. We forget the things that go into this covenant that we made with the Most High God. Read.
It says, but Yahweh your God, ye shall fear, and he shall deliver you out of the hand of all your enemies.
It says, but Yahweh your God, him is who you should fear, and he is the one that will deliver you out of the hand of all your enemies. You Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, you are in the hand of your enemies. It is only the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob that has ever given you a promise to deliver you out of this man's hand. Stop looking elsewhere and stop looking at your damn self. You are not going to do it. It's going to take a collection of you as whatever nation that you're deriving from, and a collective of Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians under the power, influence, and guidance of the Most High God in righteousness that we're going to be delivered out of this place. Without it, we are going to continue to be here suffering, being hunted again, both by our enemies and by ourselves. Get it together, Israel. Go ahead.
It says, howbeit they did not hearken, but they did after their former manner.
A lot of us not going to hear it. We're going to continue to do after this former manner. You're going to continue to go and abuse that man. You're going to continue to go and abuse that woman. You're going to continue to go and abuse those kids. And then you're going to go use them for what you want, exploit them, and then you're going to leave them behind and leave them destitute, lacking, and without. And it's going to continue to perpetuate the curse that's upon you, that you were left lacking, without, and destitute. Stop the curse. Stop the momentum. Stop the movement of these curses. Do what's right and fear the Most High God as he commanded you. Read verse 41.
Verse 41. So these nations feared Yahweh and served their graven images.
It says, so these nations feared Yahweh and served their graven images. Go ahead.
Both their children.
Both their children.
And their children's children.
And their children's children.
As did their fathers.
As did their fathers. Go ahead.
So do they unto this day.
What you're doing today is nothing new. This is going all the way back to the time of Kings. This is going back all the way back to the time of Deuteronomy. This is going all the way back to the time of Egypt. This is going all the way back to the time of Abraham. Right? When listen, funny thing is, because even when Isaac told Esau, hey, don't go mess with them Canaanites. All Isaac was doing was taking what his father told him and passed it down to his kids. And even when Jacob received that same instruction, what did he do? He went and dealt with them damn Canaanites. Both of them did. Both of them did. And I'm gonna tell you this, Israel. Before you open your goddamn mouth to start wanting to criticize Esau for what he's doing, you get yourself right. You make sure you walk in the path that Esau is not walking before you start trying to criticize him. Because I find it's strange that a lot of our people that are aware of our movement want to come up and, with a cigarette in their mouth. They want to come up with a cigarette in their mouth. Yeah, man, the goddamn white man, yeah, he be doing all kind of stuff to us, huh? Yeah, because you got that cigarette in your damn mouth. Because you got that damn blunt, chilling in your damn ear. Because you got that damn weed and them papers in your pocket right now that as soon as you leave us, you're finna go roll up. That's why the so-called white men doing that to us. So make sure you present yourself blameless and without spot before the Most High, and then you go out and start criticizing Esau. What the hell is wrong with you? Because the Most High, guess what? He already got his reward for Esau. Simple. Yours is up in the air. What are you going to choose this day? You're going to choose life or you're going to choose death? Pick one. Go ahead. That was it on that. Give me Zephaniah 1 and 5.
Zephaniah.
Indians probably made the weed, and guess what? Indians started smoking the weed. And that's where we started to have a problem. There's nothing wrong with weed, but the manner in which, again, it's the rights. Yeah. Not the rights like, the things that you're entitled to, rights, but the rights in terms of ritual. So as soon as they started doing things and practicing with this lawful herb and plant, and they started to do things with it that is contrary to the ways of the Most High God, that's when it became a problem. Recognize this stuff. Pray that even ourselves we commit against the Father have saved mankind from us. Go ahead.
Zephaniah 1 and 5.
Mm-hmm.
Zephaniah 1 and 5. And them that worship the host of heaven.
Those that worship the host of heaven, you Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, constantly worshiping and serving the host of heaven. I mean, there's a new one coming to us every single day. Somebody has found a new deity to follow after. They have found a new God to follow after. Go ahead.
Somebody had on social media, they put the 12 tribes and they aligned it up with the damn zodiac signs to basically say, whatever your zodiac sign is, this is what your tribe is.
Right. That's what they're trying to put together. But guess what? There's no scriptural reference of your zodiac sign to any tribe.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous.
It says
wild stuff, dog.
And them that worship the host of heaven upon the housetops, and them that worship and that swear by Yahweh, and that swear by Malcolm.
Go ahead.
And them that are turned back from Yahweh.
Those that are turned back from Yahweh. They're not turned towards Yahweh. They're turned back from him. Read.
It says, and those that have not sought Yahweh.
Go ahead.
Nor inquired for him. Hold thy peace at the presence of Yahweh God, for the day of the Lord is at hand. For Yahweh hath prepared a sacrifice, he hath bid his guests.
Keep reading.
And it shall come to pass in the day of Yahweh's sacrifice that I will punish the princes and the king's children and all such as are clothed with strange apparel.
So when the Lord says he appears and he's going to come back and bring forth his sacrifice, he says he's going to do what? He's going to punish all that are clothed with strange apparel. He's going to say this. It's like when you have kids, right? And he got somebody like, I didn't buy you them clothes. What clothes is in right there? Especially your daughter. Your daughter, done borrowed some skirt from her friend and, got some little crop top. You're like, I did not buy you them clothes. You are looking strange to me. This is not my daughter. Not at all. Dad is not going for that. You got this mini skirt and this crop top on. Trying to out here being fast in front of some little boy. And that's what Israel do. Israel go out like a young little gal with a skirt and a crop top on, pooting and giggling and blinking in their eyes in front of and all of these damn heathens and all these other gods, man, provoking the jealousy of the Most High God. What you got?
This Ezekiel 16, starting at 43. It says, because thou hast not remembered the days of thy youth, but hast fretted me in all these things.
We ever not remember the days of our youth, but have what?
It says, but has fretted me.
But has fretted the Most High, right? Pushing him off to the side. Listen, whooshed him away. Read.
It says, in all of these things, behold, therefore, I also will recompense thy way upon thine head, saith Yahweh God, and thou shalt not commit this lewdness.
It says the Lord, he's constantly trying to get us. It says, we are constantly committing our lewdness. And the Lord is just like, why? Just stop with your lewdness and your lascivious, disgusting behavior. Stop that. Go ahead.
It says, above all thine abominations.
Above all of thine abominations, read.
It says, behold, everyone that uses proverbs shall use this proverbs against thee.
Right? Everybody that uses a proverb is going to be something that's going to be against us. Not going to be in support of us, but it's going to be against us. Read.
It says, saying, as is the mother, so is her daughter.
So as the mother, so is her daughter. And that's exactly what we just brought out. You got this little girl that's watching her mama go and do and be a little hoochie mama, right? She got the little Daisy Dukes on. She's trying to expose herself. She's trying her best to garner attention. And this is what's so crazy. Why is her mom trying to garner this much attention when she's supposed to have her goddamn daddy? You're supposed to be trying to get the attention of the daddy. But mom is out here dressing, trying to get the attention of everybody else. And guess what? The daughter sees it, follows right after. It's just a problem. Then it creates a domino effect. And then all of those curses start to come upon these succeeding generations. And then you look up and it's just like, damn, why is this happening? Why does this keep happening to us? People always feel like that. Why does this keep happening to us? Because this type of behavior and this culture that you're practicing, it's not of God. It's of something so strange and foreign to the Most High. That's why he says, listen, I'm going to punish those when upon my return that are dressed strangely, that I cannot recognize. Go ahead.
Back in Zephaniah 1 and 9. It says, in the same day also will I punish all those that leap on the threshold, which fill their masters' houses with violence and deceit.
Hey, and all those people who are, like I said, amongst our nation, that's killing our people and hunting our people down, Lord's coming back for you too. Because you got violence and deception wrapped all into that type of, environment. And in that lane that you rolling in. Either you are killing your homies, which we know that's a big thing. I'm talking about your actual homies, people that you don't been with for a while. Where do we get that from? That's some Edomite stuff. Danny, I got sent for. And when you get sent for, you're going alive and you come out dead. And it's your best friend that does it to you. How did we start doing this to ourselves? Go ahead. That was it. That was it on Zephaniah. Give me Romans 6 and 16. I got to use the restroom.
Romans 6 and 16. It says, know ye not that to whom ye yield yourselves servants to obey, his servants ye are to whom ye obey.
You are it's pretty much telling you who you obey is who you're a servant to. You cannot call yourself a servant of the Most High God and you don't obey the Most High God. You cannot call yourself a servant of God if you do not obey God. Okay? Know ye not that to whom ye yield yourselves servants to obey, his servants ye are to whom ye obey. Again, Paul, he had a way with words. But in this understanding he's given, he's on point. The God you're worshiping is who you are in service to. Excuse me. The God you serve is who you obey. This is why I bring things out and I make claims and statements to say you're following after Baal Peor, not because you call on Baal Peor whenever you're in times of need and trouble. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that Baal Peor is who you obey, because everything that Baal Peor requires, you're doing it freely, voluntarily. And the things that Baal Peor is requiring that you voluntarily do is contrary to the ways of God. So when we bring this out to you and we showcase, yo, you're following after this, you're not following after the God of the Bible that you say you believe in, then you fight with us. Then you contend with them. Give me Proverbs 28 and 4. Give me Proverbs 28 and 4.
This is Proverbs 28 and verse 4. It says, they that forsake the law praise the wicked.
You forsake the law, you praise the wicked, because you ain't praising the Most High God. The Most High God commanded you something. When you follow the law, That's when you praise the Most High God. You forsake the law, you praise the wicked. Read.
But such as keep the law.
But those that keep the law do what?
Contend with
We
them.
contending with them. So if you contended with the so-called black Hebrew Israelites, the black identity extremists, if you're contending with them, it's because you praise the wicked. Because I ain't even gonna say damn near. Every camp that's out here on the corner is teaching you, follow the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God. Whether these camps agree with themselves or not, we all agree you got to keep the law. So anytime you see a debate, anytime you see an argument, a loud bickering and back and forth, it's because they're trying to convince us to praise the wicked with them, and we refuse. There is nothing on the entire planet in this day, in the last day, or in the future to come that's going to separate us from the love of the Most High God and his son. Bring it out. Talk about it. I got you down.
Shalom. This is John 12:25. It says, he that loveth his life shall lose it, right? And we understand many of us, man, we're afraid of, of perishing, man. We're afraid of, our eyes going dim, and our breath coming short to naught, right? So but us losing our life for the Most High, as I'm going to read, brings us one thing that we all seek for, man. One thing that we all want, right? Because us walking in this truth, we honor the Most High, right? We honor our King Yahweh Shai, and then also our brethren that do this same consistent work that we do, man, right? Putting out, all these lessons and these teachings, breaking down the gospel, breaking down prophecy, right? We're doing the things of old as the prophets did, and that's what the prophets did. They lost their life. The apostles lost their life. The disciples lost their life and followed the Most High, right? And followed after the blueprint that Yahweh Shai Mashiach left behind for us, right? So John 12:25, he that loveth his life shall lose it, and he that hateth his life in this world shall keep it unto life eternal. And that's what we have to do, man. We got to hate this life that we live now, because there's no peace in this life. There's no serenity in this life. There's no health in this life, right? There's no wealth. We can only get so much of amount of that to where it's not everlasting, right? We want everlasting peace, everlasting health, everlasting wealth, right? Serenity. We want those things that's continually, right? On a day-to-day basis, not waking up in the morning and having no assurance of your life. Like Cap brought it out earlier. We go out and we fear the police, but more importantly, we fear our own, right? We're at war with our own, and we're at war with Esau, the so-called white man, right? So we have to be willing to lose our life here now. That's not worth any damn thing, right? And that's the title, man. God has turned his back on us, so-called Negro, Spanish, Native Indians, because we turned our back on him. We spit on him, right? The scriptures say in Hebrews 6 that, when we continue in sin, we make Christ's crucifixion afresh, man. We put him back on the cross over and over and over again when we go off and commit sin, right? So I'm gonna read again, John 12:25. He that loveth his life shall lose it, and he that hateth his life in this world shall keep it unto life eternal. If any man serve me, let him follow me, and where I am, there shall also my servant be. If any man serve me, him will my Father honor, right? And that's what I was saying earlier. We want to be honored by Yahweh, right? That's what we want at the end of the day, and we want to be where Yahweh Shai is at. And Yahweh Shai, is at the right hand of the Most High. And I'm gonna have a lesson coming out later this week, Lord willing, dealing with Deuteronomy 18:13, where the law tells us to be perfect with Yahweh, right? Meaning beside him. And that's Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai has been perfect through his walk. And now he's right there with the Most High God, right? So for us to get the things that Yahweh Shai has gotten, right, which is being a king, which is having dominion, right? Being the creator of this place through the power of the Holy Father Yahweh, we want to be honored of him, man, right? We want to be on one accord and in the same concordance as Yahweh Shai is with his Father. So if we just do simple things as that, as keep the law, statutes, and commandments, have faith, right? and want the kingdom more than, you know, keeping Esau's kingdom running, you know, we'll receive those gifts, man, and those promises.
Right?
Because you read in Romans 6, right, and 16, know ye not that to whom ye yield yourselves servants to obey, his servants ye are to whom ye obey. And then I read John 12 and 26, if any man serve me, let him follow me, and where I am, there shall also my servant be.
What was that?
Right, when you was going into Romans 6 and 16.
Got you. Read that again. Was you read 17?
Romans 6 and 16, it says, know ye not that to whom ye yield yourselves servants to obey, his servants ye are to whom ye obey. Right, and then I got John 12 and 26, Yahushua says, if any man serve me, let him follow me.
If any man serves me, let him follow me. Go ahead.
And where I am,
and where Yahushua is,
there shall also my servant be.
And there you will be. And again, upon the return of Yahushua and upon him leaving, you should be with him. Right? When he comes through and then he dips out, you should be with him. Go ahead.
And it says,
hold on. Hey, see, this is the thing, man. People got to sit up here and they got to like, subscribe, and they got to hit that notification bell. Why? Because you'll know when I'm live and you won't call me trying to ask me questions. You'll know I'm on live right now talking about God right now. You don't have to ask questions. Just tune in and listen. Read that part again in John 12.
John 12 and 26 says, if any man serve me, let him follow me. And where I am, there shall also my servant be.
But like I said, that's what we're fighting and searching for. That upon the return of Yahushua, and then when he leaves America, that we're going to be right with him upon a chariot following after him, praising, thanking, and bowing to him to say, I just appreciate you so much for coming and getting me out of that hellhole I had been in for so long, that I was just growing so tired of. Go ahead.
It says, if any man serve me.
And if any man serve Yahushua, go ahead.
Him will my Father honor.
Then the Father will honor him. Go ahead.
Right back in Romans 6 and 16, it says, know ye not that to whom ye yield yourselves servants to obey, his servants ye are to whom ye obey, whether of sin, whether of sin unto death.
Whether of sin, which is an action. You're being obedient to Satan, and you're sinning, and it's going to lead you into death, right? Whether it's sin unto death that you obey, go ahead.
Or of obedience unto righteousness.
Or are you going to be obedient and be righteous? Either you're going to go against God and die, or you're going to be obedient and be considered righteous. And again, that's where you get that ticket and you be right next to Yahushua riding first class, right? That's what we want. First class, yo, this is bad. Drinking all juice out of a champagne glass. This is what we're looking for, right? Bottomless mimosas upon the chariots of God, all right? In celebration, we're toasting to our deliverance and salvation. That's the goal. That's the championship. That is the end of the whole thing. I ain't gonna say the end of the season. That's the end of the whole thing. You won. Take your crown and your position and rule in righteousness under God. Go to, excuse me. Go now to Joshua 24 and read verse 15.
Joshua chapter 24 and verse 15. And it reads, and if it seem evil unto you to serve Yahweh, choose you this day whom you will serve.
It says, read that again from the top. And if it seem what?
And if it seem evil unto you to serve Yahweh.
What does that even make? You know, how does that even make sense? It seems evil to serve the Most High God. That's the position that we find ourselves in. You want to call it evil now to serve the Most High? That's why you find yourself in service to other things, because You want something that's pleasant to you. You want something that's going to be smooth and nice. And you don't respect or honor government and principalities. You don't. You despise government. You despise the principality. You despise order. You want it to be one way. You want it to be your way. You want the whole world to revolve around you. And you don't even consider that your own individual selfish ambitions and aspirations is a detriment to the entire nation of Israel, which are today the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. And guess what? That same type of behavior becomes contagious. And another Israelite starts to become selfish. And another Israelite starts to become selfish. And now we all are selfish. And now it seems so very evil for us to come together and work together and serve the Most High God. You don't want to do any of those things. How dare you, with your sick, twisted, demented self, would consider serving the Most High evil? But this is what you do. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's a lot. A quick precept, right? Isaiah 5:20. Woe unto them that call evil good.
Woe unto them, destruction unto them that call evil good. Go ahead.
And good evil.
And then try to declare the good things of the Most High evil. How arrogant, how proud, how forward of a mouth you have. Go ahead.
It says that put darkness for light and light for darkness.
That put darkness for light and light for darkness. You want to sit up here and call Satan good and the Most High evil. You don't even recognize you're so disgusting and you're so simple in your way. You don't even know. You don't even recognize it's the Most High doing everything. He's doing everything. And since he's in control of everything, guess what? Your outcome, your results of your evil practice and worship, you're going to see the results of that, man. First of all, you've already seen the results of it. You've just made yourself comfortable in that position to keep following after and serving your enemy, speaking the language he forced you to speak, calling yourself after the name that he forced you to be called after. You're disgusting. Turn back from those things, man. Separate yourself from your enemy, from the darkness and from the ways of evil. Hate those things and love the goodness, mercy, compassion, and righteousness of the Most High God, Yahweh, his name. Ba Hashem HaMashiach Yahushua. Go ahead.
It says that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter.
They put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter.
It says one to them.
You bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. Trying to say that America's our place of rest. You done bought into the idea how great America is. America ain't shit. America's finna be destroyed. And the leader of the free world right now is shaking in his damn boots, hoping that his enemies don't rise up and mount up together and listen anytime soon. He's over here trying to buy time. He's such a coward that the man he's supposed to be backing and in support of, he's trying to hope that they can handle it themselves. With the nation of Israel, under the righteousness and the mercy and compassion and guidance of the Most High God, it ain't no fair phase. We always fight 2 against 1. Israel versus whatever nation, plus the Most High God. Read.
It says, one to them that are wise in their own eyes.
Woe unto them that's wise in their own eyes. Go ahead.
And prudent in their own sight.
And prudent in their own sight. The prudence is to look well unto the future in your wisdom. What wisdom are you looking for? What wisdom is these people out here looking for? They looking to go and make money in this place and to find success in this place and find out their retirement location. Your retirement location is going to be filled with fervent heat. You might as well go and retire in damn Arizona somewhere, Nevada somewhere. It's going to be hotter than that. Both of those places put together.
Look,
that's the type of prudence they're looking for. Go ahead.
And it says, what sorrow for those who are wise in their own eyes and think themselves so clever.
I'm talking about they think they got it all figured out. They think that they just have it all put together. Good. I know exactly. And then they try to attribute that type of damnation to the blessings of the Most High God. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. The Lord can give you $1 million right now and it can be the biggest curse unto you. The Lord will give you $1 million. The Lord will give you $1 billion right now and turn you into a crackhead. And you will smoke that whole billion in dimes. You know what I'm saying? You think a crackhead done touched $1 billion in his crack journey before recovery? I think so. The money that they've hustled, the money that they've lost.
Biden's son.
Biden's son. Biden's son. Look at it.
Wasn't no good in there, but you know, had bread and smoked up.
Go ahead. Angelic.
Right.
Hold on. Angelic. God and Lord is simply a title. Yahweh is his name, and he is the creator of everything. Go ahead.
Back in Joshua 24:15, it says, and if it seem evil unto you to serve Yahweh, choose you this day whom you will serve.
Hey, if it seems easy, if it seems evil, choose this day whatever it is you're gonna serve. Figure it out and stop playing with the Most High. Stop double dutching with the Most High. Stop hopscotching with these different deities. Pick one. Either you're gonna serve the Most High in his righteousness or you're not. Because we know going into Revelation what he said. If you find yourself trying to hang in the middle to do both, and you want to two-time the Most High, he's going to spew out of his mouth. Read.
Kind of said, whether the gods which your fathers served that were on the other side of the flood, or the gods of the Amorites,
right,
in whose land ye dwell, but as for me and my house.
But as for Joshua and his house, as for priest Yash Banloya and his house, as for Captain Tazama and his house, as the second Zachari and all of the houses that make up Zachari, we're going to serve who?
We will serve Yahweh.
We're going to serve Yahweh. You ain't even got to get that confused here. I don't even want to put it out there that I could possibly be serving and worshiping anything else. As far as me and mine is concerned, we're going to serve Yahweh. Again, Ba'ashem HaMashiach Yahushua. Read.
It says, and the people answered and said, God forbid that we should that we should forsake Yahweh to serve other gods.
God forbid that we should then forsake Yahweh and serve other gods. Read verse 23. Jump to it.
Verse 23. Now therefore put away, said he, the strange gods which are among you.
Now he's telling them, put away those gods that you have among you. Examine yourself. Look at yourself in the mirror. Examine your ways. Examine your daily activities. Examine your train of thought. Examine your circle, your environment, and recognize all the things that need to go, all the things that you need to separate yourself from, all the things you need to rise above and shine brighter than, and use the guidelines of the Most High God to do so. It will be very, very easy. It's harder to keep up with all of the wickedness you've been doing than it is to serve the Most High. Develop that habit of doing what's right and hating evil. You got something?
What's that? Jeremiah. Hold that foot.
2:25.
Jeremiah 2:25. I'll read it in NLT. It says, when will you stop running?
When will you stop running? Cut the track star mess. All right? Nobody on here is Usain Bolt, and ain't nobody on here Sha'Carri Richardson. All right? It was another one. Shelly Ann Price. You ain't Shelly Ann Price either. Go ahead.
Right. It says, when will you stop panting after other gods?
When will you stop panting and following after and entertaining these other gods? When you gonna do that? It's easy. Stop. Go ahead.
But you say, save your breath.
But we'll turn around and tell the Most High. We'll turn around and tell the prophets. We'll turn around and tell the men that's showing you love by instructing you and encouraging you to do better. Hold your breath. Save your breath. Don't waste your time telling me that. Go ahead.
I'm in love with these foreign gods.
I'm in love with these strange gods. And what else?
And I can't stop loving them now.
And I can't stop loving them. I'm in love with someone else. Remember, we brought this up. Me and my brother Daniela, man, we brought this out, man. You know, that Jasmine Sullivan song. Like, I'm in love with another man. That's what Israel is telling the Most High. I can't stop loving him. I won't stop loving him. Okay? Go ahead. You got something? Bring your precept up.
Joshua, right? It's Joshua 24:23. Now, therefore, put away, said he, the strange gods which are among you, and incline your heart unto Yahweh.
Put away those strange gods and incline your heart unto Yahweh. Go ahead.
The God of Israel.
The God of Israel. That's it on that? That was 24?
Yes, sir.
Go to
that was 23.
Read verse 24. Go ahead.
Verse 24. And the people said unto Joshua,
that was 20.
Yahweh our God will we serve, His voice will we obey.
Mm-hmm. Listen, and we put a stamp on it. We planted our feet firmly on serving the Most High Yahweh and worshiping the Most High Yahweh and being obedient unto Him. Again, as far as me and mine and the sect of the Sakari that I'm a part of, that's what we're gonna do. And we can vouch for a lot of brothers, even in other camps, that's gonna serve and worship the Most High God. When are you gonna join the movement? When are you gonna join the flow? Get 1 Samuel 7:3.
1 Samuel chapter 7.
Hold on. Royalty. If you pay any attention to our videos, then you would know we speak about DNA all the time. Second of all, DNA testing doesn't tell you what side these different percentages of bloodlines. It doesn't tell you what side it comes from. It just tells you a basic general idea of what they are saying you have in you. So if there is if you're saying 37% of African Americans have white forefathers, you can't prove that. All right. What you're saying is that 37% of African Americans have quote unquote white ancestry. You don't know where it comes from. You don't know if it's with the mother or if it's with the father. You just don't know that. So to get on here and to say that somebody's scared of DNA, there's plenty of our brothers that have taken DNA tests. So I appreciate you tuning in. I appreciate your comment. I hope that you continue to tune in and show your support. We love you the same. Okay? Just addressing you so that you can not waste your time commenting and making all of these assertions and guessing so much, and you can just pay attention and listen. Either you agree, you keep watching, or you don't agree and you can stop looking at another man you disagree with for an hour and 47 minutes. That's just the easiest thing you can do, right? I'd never watch a man that I don't like for an hour and 47 minutes if I just wanted to scoff at him all day. But go ahead, bring that out. 1 Samuel 7:3.
1 Samuel 7:3. And Samuel spake unto all the house of Israel, saying, if you do return unto Yahweh with all your hearts, then put away the strange gods and Ashereth from among you, and prepare your hearts unto Yahweh, and serve him only. If you put these gods away, and this is also goes to you, royalty, right? Read that part again. Let's show royalty something. For Samuel chapter 7, verse 3, and Samuel spake unto all the house of Israel, saying, if you do return unto Yahweh, with all your hearts, then put away the strange gods. Watch this. I want to do something. Okay, royalty, if you came on here to learn more, then chill out and listen. Because here's the thing, and I want to explain something too as well. Going directly to royalty. This was mine. Because you had the other one. Go ahead, you want to go grab it? No. All right. Whatever science and whatever stat you're going to come up with, it doesn't take away from what we're bringing out here in the scriptures. If you have some sort of scientific method or scientific process to prove that Captain Tazama has a white forefather, right? Guess what? Captain Tazama is just not an Israelite. Cool. It doesn't change what I'm saying. I'm not then going to try to bend it and twist it to make myself fit. If I'm an Edomite, I'm an Edomite. If I'm an Elamite, I'm an Elamite. If I'm an Ishmaelite, I'm an Ishmaelite. And whatever judgment this book says that I have, I'm going to get it. So when you come on and start saying how people have no clue about science or whatever, your science we don't follow, right? Or your science does not take away from what we're talking about. People always want to approach us with science. You could probably try to prove that the individual you're talking to is not an Israelite, but it doesn't change the message. Salvation is only for Israel. God is going to return to this place.
gather his elect amongst the children of Israel and deliver them out of this place, and everyone else is going to be destroyed. Everyone else is going to receive a judgment from the Most High God. He's going to take those that he delivered. He's going to set them back in the land promised to their forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. They're going to rule that land as well as the entire rest of the world in righteousness under his commandments and his statutes that he gave to Moses. And Moses gave them to Israel. He's not disrupting the lesson. We're going into it further because it's things like that that's causing the Most High to continue to turn his back on us. You are focused and worried about the wrong thing. I appreciate you for tuning in to learn more. Rest your fingers, put them in your pockets, and sit back and open your ears and learn more. Bring it out.
1 Samuel 7:3, and Samuel spake unto all the house of Israel, saying, if you do return unto Yahweh with all your hearts, then put away the strange gods and Asherah from among you, and prepare your hearts unto Yahweh.
See, prepare your hearts unto the Most High. The Most High never told us to go and take a DNA test. The Most High never did that. The Most High gave us prophecy for us to recognize and find out who we were. The Most High gave us a spirit and an experience for us to recognize and to come back into who we are. Not a DNA test that we're going to get from the same man that took our identity away from us. And coincidentally, of course, he'd say 37% of us has his blood. Come on, man. Oh, goodness, man. I'll never understand why people that do not like or agree with you tune in to just scoff. You have nothing. It's not even like you giving us real life information. It's not even like, okay, I come in here to really stir people into the right direction. You come on just to spew random insults. It makes me believe you're a very lonely person. And because I recognize you're lonely, I have pity on you. I pray that the Most High sends you great company, okay, that can take your mind off of dealing with men you don't like. That's crazy. Bring it out.
It says, put away the strange gods and Asherah from among you, and prepare your hearts unto Yahweh, and serve him only, and he will deliver you out of the hand of the Philistines.
And then the Lord was going to deliver us out of the hand of the Philistines, the same way we want him to deliver us out of the hand of the Edomites right now. Okay. Sakari is everywhere. Okay, so we're planting seeds everywhere. There is no place where we won't go or we have not been. We go everywhere. Okay, get Psalms 100, verse 3.
Psalms chapter 100. Psalms 103 or chapter 100, verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
It says, know ye that Yahweh, he is God. It is he that hath made us, and not we ourselves. We are his people and the sheep of his pasture.
Read it again.
This is Psalms chapter 100 and verse 3. It says, know ye that Yahweh, he is God. It is he that hath made us, and not we ourselves. We are his people.
Listen, it is he that made us, not we ourselves. That's why we don't have to sit up here and go check and utilize all of these words, or excuse me, all of these methods that people are using now to go and find out who they are. The Lord already told us how we find out who we are. He's the one that created us. So obviously he would know. Go ahead.
It says, we are his people and the sheep of his pasture.
We are his people and the sheep of his pasture. Go ahead. Keep reading.
Enter into his gates with thanksgiving.
Enter into the gates of the Most High with thanksgiving, right? With some level of appreciation. Jake today, man, is just so damn arrogant and so damn entitled. They feel like the Most High owe them something. Go ahead. No. Excuse me real quick. Royal, I didn't say that you didn't. I was actually talking to the dude, Dark Legion. So if pardon me, if you kind of, if it seemed as though when I was addressing your point and then addressed somebody else that I was talking to, I wasn't talking to you, Royal. So my apologies for that. Go ahead.
It says, and into his courts with praise, be thankful unto him and bless his name.
Be thankful to Most High and bless his name. Go ahead.
For Yahweh is good, his mercy is everlasting, And his truth endureth to all generations.
Right? It says his what is good?
It says, for Yahweh is good.
Yahweh is good, and his mercy is mercy. I says mercy. His mercy is everlasting. All right, and we have to understand that. Give me wow. See what happened when you started. Deuteronomy 32 and 20. He said, go to Utah. We've had brothers in Utah. There's not much going on out there.
This is Deuteronomy 32. You said in 30?
20. 32, 20. 20 and 21.
Deuteronomy 32 and 20. And he said, I will hide my face from them.
The Lord didn't turn around because of our wickedness. He said, I'm going to hide my face from them. Hold that. Give me Numbers 6. Get the prayer.
Number 6.
Apayak said, number the gang of Samoans out there. Go ahead.
Number 6, starting at verse 22. And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto Aaron and to his sons, saying.
This is the 6 and 24?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
It says, on this wise ye shall bless the children of Israel, saying unto them, Yahweh bless thee.
Yahweh bless thee and do what?
And keep thee.
Yahweh bless us and keep us. Go ahead.
Yahweh make his face shine upon thee.
Yahweh, make your face shine upon us, please. Go ahead.
And be gracious unto thee.
And be gracious unto us. How is the Lord going to shine his face upon us if he says he turned his face from us? Go back to that Deuteronomy 32.
Deuteronomy 32 and 20. It says, and he said, I will hide my face from them.
He wasn't going to make his face shine upon us. He was going to hide his face from us. Read.
I will see what their end shall be.
It says, I'm going to see what their end is going to be. Go ahead.
For they are a very forward generation.
Because they're a forward generation. Read.
Children in whom is no faith.
Children in whom is no faith. That's why, and that's another thing as well, for the brother Royal, or it could be a sister, excuse me. A lot of this is dealing with faith. DNA testing is dealing with faith. Excuse me. Ancestry DNA testing, you're dealing with a lot of faith. And because of the faith that was commanded and endowed to the nation of Israel, there was also a spirit that will come upon you to, okay, the brother, he's a brother. There is also a spirit that comes upon you that will solidify and validate the faith that you have and whether or not it's in, the God of Israel or the God of the Bible that we read. You see what I'm saying? These things all coincide with one another. Have faith, and then the spirit will then guide you with the faith that you have. And that's where you'll have this understanding. But here's the thing. If you are not of the nation, you just aren't going to receive of the blessing because it's just not written. When you're dealing with DNA, you have to have faith in that type of stuff. I don't have faith in the DNA, the companies that I'm going to send my DNA into and believe that this whole time, all they had to do was just sit up here and swipe some saliva off your cheek, and then they could just sit up here and tell you everything. I don't believe that. I don't. Whether I did it, got the results back, and it said that I was 100% black or Negro, cool. I still wouldn't believe it. Because it's not, why is it that they can tell me that I'm from Sierra Leone, I'm from Nigeria, I'm from, I got 2% Scottish in me, I got 8%, Irish in me, I got 6% French in me. Why is it that they can tell me all of that, but they can't tell me I'm an Israelite? Or why will they tell me all that, but they won't tell me I'm an Israelite? They won't tell me that before my people inhabited Western shores of Africa, was sold into the so-called white man and brought me over here to North America, that I once inhabited the land of Israel. Why won't they tell me that? I don't waste my time even going there. I have too much of an obligation to get into these scriptures, learn this, and deliver it to my people so we can wake up and get up out of this place. tend to be worrying about some damn DNA, falsely so-called science. I don't have time for it. If that's what you want to do, cool. Make a channel and break it down and show how this science is showing that we Israelites. Other than that, hey, listen. Take that same level of understanding of DNA that you found, make your own channel, and go show how learning this DNA is going to deliver you out of the hand of your enemy. Take that same level of science and DNA, start a channel, and teach your people how they can get out of the goddamn captivity they've been in. Show how this DNA is going to show how we all should come together and utilize, or create a mode of operation and create a sense of civil laws and statutes and ways that's going to stop us from killing each other. DNA is not going to stop you from doing dope. DNA ain't going to stop you from selling dope. DNA ain't going to stop you from killing nobody. DNA didn't stop my little bro from getting killed. He could have got a DNA test. It ain't going to stop none of that. That's why we don't put our faith in it. That's why you can call us ignorant about the science that comes with it, because it means nothing once you figure it out. You do nothing with it. All it's going to say is, oh, I got the science right now. Cool. I'm now back to square zero. How I get up out of my captivity? How do I stop being hunted in my streets by my actual enemy and by my own people? And don't take the tone of my voice. I'm not angry. That's just the love that I have for and the passion that I have to get my people out of here and to do my part with assisting and contributing to that. Going and swiping my getting a cotton swab and swiping my cheek and send it to some damn devil, not gonna do nothing to me. It's not gonna do nothing for me. Listen, there's a special, not only is it a special on 60 Minutes breaking down how the DNA testing was off, but then the two men that actually tested Oprah's DNA, they said the one brother said, he called the other brother and said, hey, did you tell Oprah she was Ethiopian? He said, hell nah. He said, well, she's on here right now talking about she's Ethiopian.
I seen that he was on the pulpit.
Yeah. He was like, yeah, man.
He said at the end, like, the DNA test ain't real.
Yeah, he said, listen, for some reason, man, Oprah's on here telling people that she's I don't remember finding out that information, but she did not went and told the whole world that. What other distractions from salvation will we fall for? Exactly. These are the questions that we have to pose. What are the distractions, man, we're gonna go for? They keep finding something to take our minds off of it. And even somebody try to say, man, you distracting us from the lesson. No, this all goes into the lesson. The very thing that this brother is bringing into the live stream right now is the very thing that we're talking about. Why do we sit here and find wisdom in so many things other than the wisdom of the Most High God? Other than learning who you are, learning where you come from, learning why you're suffering the things that you are, why it's so hard for you to get up and pull yourself up by your bootstraps and to remove yourself from this condition. Why is it so hard? It's not because we don't have our DNA. It's because we don't love one another. It's because we don't serve and worship the Most High God. And the fact of the matter is that DNA is just not going to tell us that we are Israelites. They're not going to tell us that we descend from the man Jacob. You want to know why? Because they don't have Jacob's DNA. All right. So the paternity test is inconclusive on that. They don't have the DNA of the 12 patriarchs. So the paternity test on that is inconclusive. And they don't have any of the DNA of the Israelites that was forced out of Israel in 70 AD. They don't. They have DNA samples and have developed haplogroups of people that are in certain locations today. And wherever they found that DNA today is where they're saying you go back to, not accounting for a lot of the migration and a lot of the, and not accounting for the diaspora that our people have suffered on a number of occasions. These things you have to consider once you find out this DNA, I already know we go back to the Western Shores of Africa. I don't need a DNA test to tell. Give me a few seconds, man, and let this signal get back right. I don't know what just happened. Real talk, okay, we good. I was about to say, I just think, man, I got an old laptop. I think I just got an old laptop. You feel me? Bring it out.
I got precept.
Go ahead.
This is 1 Timothy 6, starting at 17. It says, charge them that are rich in this world.
Charge them that are rich in this world. Go ahead.
That they be not high-minded.
That they be not high-minded. That you don't then become so proud that when somebody is giving you useful information, you put it off to the side. We don't want that, right? Don't let your riches make you ignorant. Go ahead.
Right, nor trust in uncertain riches.
Nor to trust in uncertain riches. Gambling. Go ahead.
It says, but in the living God.
But in the living God.
Who giveth us richly all things to enjoy.
Who give us what?
It says, who giveth us richly all things to enjoy.
He giveth us richly all things to enjoy. Go ahead.
That they do good.
That we must do good. Listen, this reward of giving us the things for us to enjoy, it's for us to do good. Not to get spoiled and start feeling entitled. Go ahead.
That they may be rich in good works.
And we may be rich in good works. Not in, what did it call it? An uncertain riches. Not in uncertain riches. Where you got to sit up here, listen, you made $1 million today. Guess what? You got to turn around and go make $1 million tomorrow. Otherwise, that million going to run out. The Lord is the gift that keeps on giving. Where your cup runneth over. Pressed down, shaken. Go ahead.
It says, ready to distribute, willing to communicate, laying up in store for themselves a good foundation against the time to come.
Laying up in store a good foundation to do what? Prepare you against the times that are coming to you. Famines come, pestilence come. What type of foundation are you laying for these type of perils, right? These perilous times to come. Why aren't you preparing yourself for that? Read.
And DNA is not going to do that.
DNA is not going to prepare you for the times to come.
Because regardless of where you go back to, the percentage of the people that want to place this new world order, if they could, they don't give a damn whether you're French, Portuguese, German, Black, African, Arab, Asian, right? If you're not well set up in their works and their laws and their statutes and their regulations,
right,
they're going to do away with you.
Exactly. That was it on that?
It says, laying up in store for themselves a good foundation against the time to come, that they may lay hold on eternal life.
That they may lay hold on eternal life. And following the Most High God is the only path to achieving that. Right? Go ahead. Keeping His commandments.
It says, O Timothy, keep that which is committed to thy trust, avoiding profane and vain babblings and oppositions of science falsely so called.
Hey, take heed of vain and profane babbling and oppositions of science falsely so called. People can say it all the time. People use this word science like it is God.
Okay.
People say according to science, like a believer would say according to God. It's a difference. Go ahead.
It says, which some professing have erred.
Which while some professing they have erred, they have went astray. That became their focus. That became their point of reference of truth. Science and not God. And we have to get back to reassuring ourselves in the words of the Most High God, not in the words of, half spirit of observation and half spirit of guessing. Half fact and half theory. Go ahead.
It says, which some professing have erred concerning the faith.
Which those have erred concerning the faith because they don't have faith anymore. It's facts now. I got all the facts now. Okay, cool. You got yours and I got mine. I'm gonna show you what my facts is gonna do, I'm gonna show you what my facts are projected to do. You know, you gotta sit down and you start going over projections. You know what I'm saying? This is what the projections are for what I got going on. Listen, my facts, we got a whole kingdom. We're gonna rule the world. What's your DNA is showing you, huh? What is your stars and your quasar telling you, huh?
Mm-hmm.
What does your zodiac sign tell you? Bring it out.
Yeah, what do you have faith in?
What do you have faith in? Listen, you are only a servant to whom you obey.
And your faith is in science, which changes.
Come
So
on, man.
Faith is given unto change.
Let me explain something to you. Your cotton swab, it never made it to the factory. It never made it to the laboratory. Your cotton swab that you sealed and signed and shipped out, it never made it. And then they turn around and they go, they take the little box and they shake it up and they shake it up, and then whatever they pull out, they say, "Oh, this nigga was Irish. I knew it. I knew he was gonna be Irish.
Damn Portugal.
He's there." And you shake it up again, and it's like, "Oh, he's a nigger. Oh, he got him too. Boom, put it there." And you shake it up, and you shake it up again, and then you take it out and it's like, "Oh, he's Scottish." We're gonna say he's 2%. We don't want to lose him. You know, Scots were a little. Bring it out.
Deuteronomy 32 and 20. It says, and he said, I will hide my face from them. I will see what their end shall be. For they are very forward generation. Children in whom is no faith.
Children in whom is no faith. Go ahead.
They have moved me to jealousy.
Jealousy. Read.
With that which is not God.
And they have moved us to jealousy with those things that are not God. So if your true intentions, Brother Royal T, was to come on here and learn, that is our message. Brother said, I just use DNA because I don't know who my family is past. Family is past my grandfather and grandmother. Totally understandable, brother. Again, read that part again. Read that part again, bro. This is for you, Royal T, because of what you just said. You don't know your family past it, and you want to gain more understanding. I have no problem with that. Go to Ancestry.com. I believe they can go back, to the early 17th century? I believe the early 18th century. Go into it. Try your best. Cool. But this thing that we do here that has been tried, tested, and proven is a thing of faith. For sure. And we're not afraid to say that. We're not afraid to stand on that. Because through that faith, it has motivated and influenced and guided us to bringing out so much information that we would never get from anybody outside of being guided through these words and through this book. We would have never had them. Why would we even look for those things without using this book? Because this book is a redemptive book. This book speaks about the redemption of those that are captive, the healing of those that are bruised, right? The recovering of sight to those that are blind. That's why you need a DNA test, Royalty, because you've been blinded through the Spirit of the Most High, but by way of this. Again, brother, we appreciate your apology. No offense taken. We're just showing you. You've been lied to. You've been given an idea that is untrue. That's why you now need a DNA test so that they can go and figure out one other. They've given you a lane for them to lie to you again. You don't need it. All you need is these scriptures, and it's giving you everything that you need. If you're able to receive it, listen. If thou canst tell, if you're able to receive it, you're an Israelite from one of the various 12 tribes, and upon your obedience and service to the Most High God, He's on His way to come and pick you up and deliver you out of here. Understand and know that. Go ahead.
Deuteronomy 32 and 21. They have moved me to jealousy. That it says with that which is not God.
And we've moved them to jealousy, the things that are not God. A lot of times we provoke the Most High to jealousy because we put so much of our faith in science, in the medical field. I'm gonna tell you something, man. Share something with you guys that I don't really talk about much. But as we were going through the situation with our brother Daniela in the as he was in the hospital, let me be the first to tell you these people don't know much. But they have, man, I fell for it. Trust me, I bit. When I tell you that I thought that they were going to have so much understanding and answers to be able to help and assist with my brother, let me be the first to tell you they don't know what they in here doing. They are in here picking and poking around, hoping to spring gold. That's all they're doing. They have a lot of educated guesses. They don't know what they're doing. but we put our faith in it, and then it becomes a problem, and it always bites us in the ass. Stop getting bit, Israel. Stop biting yourself, Israel, and stop kicking yourself in the ass by going after the same man that has killed, raped, robbed, murdered, deceived, and tricked you this entire time that you've been in his presence. He keeps doing it over and over again. Leave this devil alone. Go ahead.
It says, they have provoked me to anger with their vanities, and I will move them to jealousy with those which are not a people. I will provoke them to anger with a foolish nation.
Give me Deuteronomy 31. Go back one chapter and read 16 to 18.
Deuteronomy 31, verse 16. And Yahweh said unto Moses, behold, thou shalt...
Salat, I'm sorry, because the brothers made a great point. The brother just said, plus, on top of it, they're gathering people's information. Listen, they're gathering people's information so that they can conjure up some sort of pestilence that's going to directly attack our people. That's another thing that we found out, right? They create a lifestyle that deprives us of the very thing our skin is supposed to grasp and lock and hold on to from nature itself, especially from the sun. But what happens? They turn around and they create this lifestyle that we have to follow that deprives us of something called vitamin D. And that's what one of the nurses told me when I'm sitting in the hospital with my brother. They said, listen, it's something about the minorities, blacks and Hispanics, where it's attacking them. And every time when they come in, they have a vitamin D deficiency. And it's like, well, damn, we used to have a high vitamin D content when we was growing up because we was always outside. You had 2 recesses a day plus after school. But then your adult life, you have none of those things. Then you're deprived of certain minerals that you need. But guess what happens? They turn around and they notice about you because they've been poking around and they've been experimenting and testing you so damn long. They know exactly what to put out that's going to attack you. When we first heard about that disease, what happened? Black people couldn't get it at first. Now, then we turn around and it was the #1 thing attacking black people. It's the craziest stuff in the world. They don't know anything, but we put our trust and our faith in them, and it provokes the Most High to jealousy. Go ahead.
Deuteronomy 31 and 16. And Yahweh said unto Moses, behold, thou shalt sleep with thy fathers, and this people will raise up.
It says, we shall sleep with our fathers, and these people shall raise up. Go ahead.
And go a whoring after the gods of the strangers of the land.
So as we die off, what happened? The generation after us, they went off a whoring, following after these other gods. Read.
It says, whether they go to be among them and will forsake me.
And we forsake the Most High. Go ahead.
And break my covenant.
And we break the covenant. We done broke the very thing that protects us. We done broke the very thing that was going to make us great, that was going to protect us. And then all of the harm and danger comes upon us, and then we cry about it. You should have fulfilled and upheld the contract. Read.
This is which I made with them. Then my anger shall be kindled against them in that day, and I will forsake them, and I will hide my face from them.
There the Lord telling us again, he's going to hide his face from us. He turned his back on us because we didn't appreciate all of the blessings and all of the greatness that he instilled and created us with. We didn't want that. So he says, let's see how you survive. When you think you're so high and mighty, big and bad, let's see how much you really don't need me. And sure enough, he turned his back, he turned his face from us, and then we immediately start crying after him. Read.
It says, and I will hide my face from them, and they shall be devoured, and many evils and troubles shall befall them, so that they will say in that day, are not these evils come upon us, because our God is not among us? Are not these evils come upon us because our God is... Listen, as dumb as they were to see the miracles of God, to stand before the Most High God, and to still turn away, at least they understood this is happening to us because our God is not among us. Nowadays, we don't even recognize it. We think these things are happening to us while our God is among us. And then you turn around and want to throw God away completely. It's a problem. Go ahead. It says, and I will surely hide my face in that day for all the evils which they have wrought. So
Where you at?
18.
Okay, yeah, read 18.
Verse 18 in Deuteronomy 31. And I will surely hide my face in that day for all the evils which they shall have wrought. In that they are turned unto other gods.
Right. He hid his face because of the evils, and we turn unto other gods. These are the problem, and we keep doing the same thing. Get Exodus 32 and 9.
The book of Exodus, chapter 32, and verse 9. And it reads, And Yahweh said unto Moses, I have seen this people, and behold, it is a stiff-necked people.
Behold, this is a stiff-necked people, hard-headed. Read.
It says, Now therefore let me alone, that my wrath may wax hot against them, and that I may consume them, and I will make of thee a great nation. And Moses besought Yahweh his God, and said, Yahweh, why doeth thy wrath wax hot against thy people?
It says, why does Moses is asking, Lord, why is your anger so kindled, right? Or so hot towards towards Israel, your people, right? Go ahead.
Which thou hast brought forth out of the land of Egypt with great power,
Go ahead.
with a mighty hand. Wherefore should the Egyptians speak and say, For mischief did he bring them out, to slay them in the mountains, and to consume them from the face of the earth? Turn from thy fierce wrath, and repent of this evil against thy people.
Because it would have been crazy that the Lord just went through all of this trouble, right? To kill these Egyptians and deliver Israel. And then he's going to turn around and get mad at them as soon as they get out and sit here and kill them. It's like, well, what was the whole point? That's what the Egyptians was going to say. When you look at the back and forth between the Most High and Israel, this is literally a situation between a man and a woman. I mean, it's crazy. You done called your wifey up on the phone. Matter of fact, no. You done called your wife's job and put in like a bomb threat or something so she could get off work early. You know what I'm saying? You did something cold, you know what I'm saying? Just to get wifey out of work early. You know what I'm saying? You done called in a bomb threat, got wifey off early. You have bought her a new dress. You got her laid out on the bed. You know what I'm saying? You want to, that's something nice. I want to do something nice for wifey. And then she get home. She sees all of that. She gets dressed. She just can't believe it. Like, oh my God, like, man, this is amazing. Thank you. For y'all to go out to dinner and she finds something wrong and just piss you off. You know what I'm saying? It's like, damn, what was the whole point of me even doing all of this for the night to end this way? And you guys ended in an argument, bickering. It's retarded. This is the relationship and the back and forth between the Most High and Israel, dude. We got a problem. We got to stop that stuff. Go back to that. Matter of fact, you read 10?
Yeah, I read all the way to.
Yeah, you read down to 12.
Yeah.
Okay, give me Isaiah 64 and 7.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 64,
Mm-hmm.
verse 7. And it reads, And there is none that calleth upon thy name.
There is none that call upon the name of the Most High. This is how it got for our people. They had completely forgot about the Most High. We have to get back to that place. Read.
That says that stirreth up himself to take hold of thee.
Mm-hmm.
But thou hast hid thy face from us.
It says, for he have hid his face from us, because nobody called on him. We provoked him to jealousy. We kindled a wrath in his anger, and nobody was looking to God to turn to him and to just ask and beg, as we should, for redemption and salvation, because we did this to ourselves. We provoked him to anger and caused him to turn his face from us. We should be calling the Most High and begging him. Go ahead.
It says, for thou hast hid thy face from us,
Mm-hmm.
and hast consumed us because of our iniquities.
Because of our iniquities. This is what happened because of our iniquities. When are we going to turn around and stop doing those things and come back into it? Like if I go back and really just count it all of the times that I just keep saying the same thing over and over, because there's so many scriptures that keep telling us the same thing over and over, yet we keep doing those very things it's condemning us for. That was it on 7? Give me Jeremiah 18 and 17.
Jeremiah chapter 18, verse 17. It says, I will scatter them as with an east wind.
The Lord said he's going to scatter us with an east wind. This is how we ended up out west, right? Go ahead.
It says, before the enemy,
I
will show them the back.
I'm going to show them the back.
And not the face.
And not the face, again, that we read about in Numbers, the 6th chapter, that will shine upon us and give us peace and blessings. Go ahead.
It says, in the day of their calamity.
In the day of our calamity. He's going to turn his back to us. And anybody that sits here and feels like, oh, well, that's wrong. He shouldn't do that. You know, he should be more this, that, and the third. Listen. Ask yourself, have you been a proper representation of an obedient servant? That's it on 17. Give me Hosea 9 and 12.
In the book of Hosea, chapter 9, verse 12. It says, though they bring up their children, yet will I bereave them. Right? That's bereave.
To bereave, yes.
Yet will I bereave them, that there shall not be a man left.
That there shall not be a man left. The Lord is just, and it's crazy because the way that the Lord talks to us, to turn around and then have mercy on us, it just shows you how angry he gets. The same way a man will get angry at his woman. Hey, same way a woman will get angry at her man. Right? The same way just couples bicker. Man, listen, I'm killing all y'all niggas, man. It ain't finna be none of y'all remaining. I'm finna wipe all of y'all out. I'm tired of y'all. I can't do this no more. I'm through. Hey, I'm washing my hands and I'm turning my back. I don't even want to look at you right now. How many people ever made that statement? I don't even want to look at you right now. I'm so pissed off. The Lord done turned his back. He done turned his face from us. And he says, it's not going to be any of you guys remaining anymore.
What's that smoke in my eyes?
Let me get it. Or if you can find it first.
Smoke in my nose, I mean.
It's in my nose. Grade 65.
We was just there too.
Yeah. We was in 64.
Oh, 64.
Yeah.
It says, Isaiah 65, starting at 3, it says, a people that provoketh me to anger continually to my face.
Provoke me to anger continually to my face. Hey, listen, this little, she keep just disrespecting me, man, in my face. Damn. No regard for what I'm sitting here watching her do. Read.
It says that sacrificeth in gardens.
That sacrifice in gardens. Go ahead.
And burneth incense upon altars of brick.
And they over here burning incense unto altars. Go ahead.
Which remain among the graves and lodge in the monuments, which eat swine's flesh and broth of abominable things in their vessels. Which say, stand by thyself, come not near to me, for I am holier than thou.
Come not near me, and they profess themselves holier than thou. We want to sit up and exalt ourselves above one another. After turn around right after you done ate support. Right after you done did something abominable.
Listen, that's what Christians, Catholics tell us. You ain't got to tell me nothing about God. I'm blessed.
I'm blessed.
I'm blessed. I'm doing better than you.
You got to be. Listen, you must be holier than me because you ain't got to do half of what I have to do to be obedient and righteous to the Most High God. You must be holier than me. Read.
It says, would say, stand by thyself, come not near to me, for I am holier than thou. These are a smoke in my nose.
These type of people, the Lord says, is smoke in his nose. It's an irritant. It's bothering me. It's a smoke in my nose. Read.
It says a fire that burneth all the day.
Hey, and it's a fire that burns all the day long.
What's a crid? A-C-R-I-D. A crid having an irritatingly strong and unpleasant taste or smell. In the NLT it says, yet they said to each other, don't come too close, or you will defile me. I am holier than thou. These people are a stench in my nostrils and a crid smell that never goes away. So like you said, we turn our back. You turn your back, right? Like, I can't even look at you right now.
Can't look at you.
And you have this disgusting look on your face, like you done smelled some bad stuff.
And we always say that too. When we start women with that attitude and looking, like, why you over here looking like I done pooed it or something? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, like I must be musky. Yeah. I must have pooed it. Do my breath stink? Why you got that look on your face? And that's what the Lord is. That's the look that the Lord says he got on his face. You are a stench in my nose, and you are what? A crid? smell that never goes away. And a crib means what?
A crib means an irritatingly, having an irritatingly strong and unpleasant taste or smell.
An irritatingly strong or unpleasant taste or smell. It's disgusting. The Lord is looking at you in disgust. Right? Give me 1 Samuel 12. I'm going to read 13 and 15.
It says angry and bitter. That smell is angry.
Listen. You ever smell something that got pissed off? Listen, you ever smell somebody musty and said, dude, I know you ain't out here smelling like that. Like my pop say, muskier than a musty grunt. Yeah, just musty.
You said what again?
1 Samuel 12 and read 13 and 15.
The book of 1 Samuel chapter 12 and verse 13. It says, now therefore behold the king whom ye have chosen and whom ye have desired, and behold, Yahweh has set a king over you. If you will fear Yahweh and serve him and obey his voice.
If you will fear Yahweh and serve him and obey his voice, read.
And not rebel against
go ahead.
The commandment of Yahweh.
Read.
Then shall both ye and also the king that reigneth over you continue following Yahweh your God.
It says, then will you and the king that reigns over you will continue to follow Yahweh your God. Read verse 15.
But if you will not obey the voice of Yahweh.
But let's talk about the people who don't, which is the time we're living in now, while people don't follow after the voice of the Most High. Go ahead.
It says, but rebel against the commandment of Yahweh.
What's going to happen?
Then shall the hand of Yahweh be against you.
Then shall the hand of Yahweh be against you. Read.
As it was against your fathers.
As it had been against your fathers. So if we want to sit up here and continue this cycle and continue to get the wrath of the Most High and not the love, mercy, and grace, and we only are able to speak into the back of the Most High instead of him shining his face upon us, get that again in number 6. Get that again in number 6. If we don't want to do that, the hand of the Most High will always be against you. And when the hand of the Most High is against you, everything that you set your hand to do will fail. Thus saith the Most High God. That's the curses of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter.
Number 6 and 24. It says, Yahweh bless thee.
Yahweh bless us, please. This is what we begging and we praying to the Most High for. Yahweh bless us.
And keep thee.
Keep us. Don't repel it. Don't make us allergic. Don't make us, not able to be brought in and stick into your loving grace and kindness. Go ahead.
It says, Yahweh make his face shine upon thee and be gracious unto thee.
Make his face shine upon us, Lord. Please. And do what? And be what?
It says, and be gracious unto thee.
And give us your grace. This is what we was praying to the Most High for in the Old Testament. So when he comes in the New Testament and gives us grace, he was just answering the prayers that we had from aforetime. Read.
It says, Yahweh lift up his countenance upon thee.
Lift up your countenance, your excitement, your glee, your what's the word? And not the anger. Lift up your mood towards us, right? Go ahead.
And give thee peace.
And give us peace. Hold it. Right as we about to wrap it up, I mean, it just got to give us some troubles. It's about to go off though. It's crazy because it's not even okay. There we go. Read it again. That last part.
It says, Yahweh lift up his countenance upon thee and give thee peace.
Lift up your countenance and give us the peace that we've been asking and praying for, Lord. Take us out of these jail cells. Take us out of these institutions. Take us out of these hospitals, right? Take us out of these council seats where we're working against our people. Take us out of these departments that's working against us. Bring us back together, Lord. Assemble us together and bring us back to the land that you promised unto our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, from the Nile to the Euphrates. Give us those things back. That's what we out here working and looking for. We're not looking for anything else. And we're only able to receive that. Lord, we recognize you are only going to give us those things if we are obedient and serve your word to the fullest in the way in which you explain and commanded us to do. And with that, we give all honor, glory, and praise to the Most High God of now, Yahweh, We do so in the name of his only begotten son, Mashiach Yahweh Shai. Again, you guys, like the page, share the page, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the page, hit the notification bell so you will be notified when we go live and when we put out new content. Lord willing, we will be back on tomorrow at 5 p.m. Pacific time. That's 8 p.m. Eastern. And I believe it's 7 p.m. Central time. 5 p.m. tomorrow, 2 p.m. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then we'll be back on at 8 Friday. Like I said, share the video. Please, appreciate it. Chief puts it out a lot of times. Just letting you guys know, if you guys want a super chat or if you want to give what they call a super thanks, you can also do that on the video even after it's posted. We would appreciate it. Again, everybody have a blessed Shabbat. We are in the Shabbat right now. The Shabbat is from Sunday night to Monday night. Everybody have a blessed one, man. And stay in the spirit, stay diligent, and stay strong, man. Yahweh Shem Yashai Barakatham. Shalom.